Hey, good morning, y'all. Anthony here. Alright, so today we're going on chapter 5, Digging Down to Bedrock, Napkin Presentation number 4. And this will show you why it's so important to go deep instead of trying to recruit the world or sponsor the world, whatever you want to refer to it. Let's see. Discouragement is one of the problems that can be set in the distributor that you have sponsored. If you fail to impress upon them the importance of getting a head start, that is why we stress that you do not start counting their months in the business until they have had their training months or their training period of whatever length of time they need. When they first get into a network marketing organization, they may have a tendency without a head start to look up at the leaders way out in front and become discouraged and think they would never be able to catch up. Little guy, they're going out in front, going faster and faster, discouragement. During this training period, the new distributor, whether it's you or the new people in your organization, need to be doing two things: distributing the first 4 chapters of this book and inviting people to see the business, attending a presentation conducted by somebody else and learning about the business, including its products and compensation plan. That's what I love about it. Most companies now have online videos or presentations you just send people or invite them to online. And remember, if you want to retire in a few years making $50,000 plus per year, you must be willing to go back to school by investing 5 to 10 hours for the next 6 months. If someone tells you they will give it 30 days and see how it goes, don't waste your time. Success requires a commitment of at least 6 months. This brings us to the importance of building your foundation. Alright, the next napkin. Grab your next napkin or piece of paper and draw a picture of a crowd of runners, the one I showed y'all. Note the arrows showing a runner trying to catch up to the crowd and a runner going even faster trying to stay ahead of the others. You may find it simpler to draw circles to illustrate this point. Not artistic. Remember when you were in PE in school and you were running laps? Some people prefer to run faster to stay ahead of the crowd rather than have to catch up to it. Since there is no finish line in this race, you can all be winners. I have a quote from my pastor that is displayed in my office and it reads, "The only losers are the quitters." However, to run a good race, one should train for it. When you sponsor someone, have him or her consider the first 2 to 6 weeks in the business as their training time period month. The next month will be their starting month. Everything they read or listen to, the meetings they attend with their sponsor and others, the products they try and the products they move are all part of their training. All this training is giving them a head start on their starting month in the business, which is next month. When the next month comes, if they're not yet ready to get started serious about the program, consider that they are still in their training month or period. Don't have them start counting their month until they are ready to get serious. That way, when they finally do get serious, they will be warmed up for the race and can get off to a head start and run a faster pace. Presentations produce motivation. One of the major benefits of all these napkin presentations is that as you share them with your new distributors and prospects and whole training programs, those who are being trained have a tendency to become self-motivators. Every time I show the 2 times 2 is 4 presentation, I get all excited again about the possibilities in network marketing. Building your skyscraper. Once you read, study, and understand what I am going to show you in the following pages, you'll be motivated and encouraged every time you see a new high-rise office building under construction. Notice that when construction begins, it seems like it takes months and months, almost forever, before you see it begin to rise out of the ground. But once it gets above ground level, it seems to rise about 1 floor per week. It goes up fast. So picture that the tall office building as your own organization as it will be someday and consider what you have to do to get it. When you started to sponsor those first 5 serious people, you were digging the foundation with a shovel or a spade. The shovel stick figure. But notice that when you dig down into the second level by teaching your people to sponsor, that's 25 people now. You have to bring in a bulldozer. The bulldozer. When you have taught your people how to teach the people in their group to sponsor, you're well on your way to bedrock. I'm trying to get there. That figure right there. That's the bedrock. Right? Now you can start going up when you are down 4 deep in your organization. It means you are now starting to become visible, and your building will rise up quite rapidly. Constructing a firm foundation. So if you have been in business for several months and don't see anything happening, don't get discouraged. It's just that the foundation is still under construction. It's sort of like the gold prospector who spent months and months digging a mine, only to give up and quit when he was just 6 inches from the main vein. Let's go back to the salespeople. That's what happens to them. They move on to something else just as they were about to hit bedrock and start seeing the building rise. You really can't expect to see visible results or real growth until you have gone down at least 4 deep. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be 5 wide and 4 deep. If any one of your lines is 4 deep, it means you are starting to build floors and are visible. Figure below is an illustration of what the foundation of your person who sponsors 130 will look like. Notice that they haven't reached bedrock even if they each sponsor 5 product or service users or wholesale buyers and have a group of 780. Without a solid foundation sitting on bedrock, the building cannot get too tall or it will crumble. Okay? You get the ground, the foundation, 130 wide. They haven't hit bedrock yet. They gotta go deep. The bedrock's at the bottom. Bedrock, soft ground, foundation. You going wide? Not happening. You gotta go deep. Alright, so next up. Relating this back to taking a trip in Brisbane, or whatever you want to call your city. The person who sponsored 130 was in first gear too many times. Even if they all sponsored 5, they would never get out of second gear. Alright? So study, learn, and use. Learn these napkin presentations and use them. You won't get stuck in second gear. Build your foundation deep down to bedrock and you'll reach high gear. When you get to napkin presentation number 9, chapter 10, on motivation and attitude and the other presentations, you will thoroughly understand why it is important to build deep. Before going to napkin presentation number 5, I want to remind you to show your people these first 4 napkin presentations as soon as possible. The ones that follow can be introduced any time after your people have started sponsoring others into the business. Alright, y'all. So those are the primary things you need to know to get started. Like I said, you can visit the links in the description and get your own copy of the ebook or the new updated. Or you can visit my website, the Own Your Life website, and request more information, and you can download the sample PDF of the first 4 chapters. And that's all you need to get started. Once you get serious about it and you decide that you want to start working towards owning your life, I'll mail you an actual copy of the book. This is all you need, y'all. You read someone the 45-second presentation, you loan them a copy of the book, they read the first 4 chapters, they're excited, they're ready to get started, you let them keep the book, and you go find another 1 out of the 5. So be smart, y'all. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section how you're adapting this, how you're implementing this into your life, how you're working towards owning your life, and share and like, because everyone needs to own their lives. Because too many people are stuck going through life working for somebody else and being pissed off, just like the guy I talked to yesterday. Actually, I've been talking to him for a couple days. He's a manager in a retail store. I'm like, oh, sweet. Well, where's your passive income come from? He's like, he didn't know what that was. I'm like, okay, earned income is what you get from your paycheck. You go to work, you get a paycheck. Passive income comes from your investments or residual income producing business. Money that comes in whether you work or not. And then I explained to him some of my sources, and that was it. He never cared to learn more about the online shopping club or the network marketing business. He's like, oh, is this one of those triangle things? I'm like, what's the triangle thing? He's like, he just tried the pyramid scheme. I'm like, no. And just like the description, a pyramid scheme does not have physical products or services. If there are physical products or services exchanging hands and moving from the manufacturer to the consumer, it's just a networking business. It's a better way of life. Pyramid schemes are illegal. There is no physical product or service exchanging hands. Real world example, Bitcoin. There is no physical asset. It's just money exchanging hands. When the bucket runs out of people's money, there's no more money. Whatever. Hey, that's just my 2 cents. Again, subscribe, like, let me know what your thoughts are on Bitcoin. Y'all be great.